Welcome to Comics and Cleats from the Minnesota Comic Exchange. I'm Kyle. I'm going to bring on our three co-hosts as well. Coach Cleats, rocking the 89 Eagles hat and reading Hawk. Commissioner Jordan.
Hello.
And John rocking the Motley Crue t-shirt today. So how's everyone doing today?
Good.
Fantastic.
Chris?
Pretty good, but my team sucks. Best team on paper, but it sucks.
Well, then that's what we've been talking. So that's what we plan on talking about. Well, that's what we plan on talking about today is our team on paper. Is that how you're going to say it?
Yes. Maybe what your team looks like, the potential, and what your team doesn't look like. There's a lot of teams out there that have the positions, pretty much empty shell positions at wide receiver and halfback.
Well, yeah, and I think halfback's one of those positions this year that if you don't have a top tier running back, you don't even have it back.
I took the Jason strategy when I started losing heavy, just snatch up everybody.
I've noticed that. Before we get going, though, I'm gonna share this on the group so we can get more viewers this time, if I can find it. Here we go. Dead air, right? That sounds like dead air.
Dead air. That's right.
Well,
yeah, my team's good. I was talking trash. Maurice beat me. Jason beat me. The bottom of the league now is at the top of the league, just running over my roster. Pat Mahomes. I think he's personally getting a little rattled that it's not Pat Mahomes Stadium anymore. It's Travis and Taylor Swift Stadium.
Yep.
And I think he doesn't like it as much as maybe it used to be Pat's house, the house that Pat didn't build, but he is going to build a new one.
So you're saying that Mahomes is getting a little tired of not having all the focus?
I mean, when you're the arguably the toughest position in all of sports, you're one of the highest paid people and the best at your position. You are the poster child for the NFL, and then you all of a sudden take a back seat. He may be polite about it, but I bet you it's keeping him up. I bet you he's complaining to Brittany, complaining to his dad, yelling in the shower, punching, stuffed animals when no one's looking. It's weird stuff, man. What's up, Jericho?
Not much.
Talking about Pat Mahomes, and maybe he's a little rattled, a little shaken. But I also would say that Pat Mahomes is supposed to be an elite level quarterback in discussion to be like one of the greatest ever.
Were you a poll member?
He hasn't made anybody like other great quarterbacks that we've seen play.
What is that?
You could send Kyle off to go play for the Green Bay Packers in Aaron Rodgers' prime, and Kyle's going to the Pro Bowl.
As a receiver?
As a tight end receiver, something.
Go back.
He'll make you. I mean, he'll be like, dude, just catch the ball, man. I'm gonna throw it right to you. Just catch it.
John Kuhn a couple years back. Yeah.
So, if Rashee Rice, right? Like I have him on my team, rookie, but he caught 4 passes. I think it was 4 or 7 last week. He caught every pass thrown to him. So maybe Pat, realizes now that other people can catch the ball. You're a good quarterback. Put it in the numbers. Put it in the numbers eye here, and they'll catch it. Don't slide. Go into the end zone. I need those fantasy points. I'm not going to threaten your family. I just wanted the points.
So are you saying that Mahomes in his entire career has not made a receiver a top 10 receiver besides Terry?
I think he has, but I don't think he's taken absolute nobodies and turned them into absolute somebodies.
Like a Jordy Nelson with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Or a Wes Welker.
Yep.
Julian
I agree
Edelman.
with that.
Julian Edelman. Guys
I
that
think Jordy
counted
Nelson has
out.
talent, though.
Are we just naming white receivers at the moment, though?
Yeah, but
So when we had the
I wouldn't.
you guys
I think
remember-
Jordy
Underside.
Nelson was genuinely a good quarterback.
All right, what were you
Or,
saying, Tom?
wide receiver.
I was
He
going to
was.
say, when we had the draft, if you guys noticed, I grabbed a bunch of receivers for KC thinking he was going to do what Chris was just talking about.
Make
And he did it.
receiver.
Yeah, he didn't with any of them. I had like 3, I think, at one time. And I dropped Tony, and I dropped Sky Moore. Or is that his name?
Sky Moore. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, he hasn't done anything with those guys. So,
Well, I mean that's what's so smart about their offense though, because they're kind of taking like classical New England style where we're not going to really make anybody this super standout, so that way you know what we're going to do, and it's been working.
But they're not.
And
He's not trusting his guys. He's
they'll figure it out. They'll get it done. They'll probably
Hopefully.
be in they'll probably be in the AFC conference game.
Oh yeah, they're 5-1.
You know.
I mean,
Their defense has been stellar this year.
yeah, they're good, but Pat Mahomes in fantasy standards has been subpar. So
Well, let's
Can't win them all.
bad.
so let's go through the last week then. Well, first off, let me ask this question. 6 of us are here. Do you feel like the offense this year has been extremely sloppy?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. I mean, this year and last year are both two of the lowest scoring seasons in like the last 15. Like last year was particularly bad through week 8. This year I think is a little bit better, but still, I think if you didn't have last year, I think this would still be one of the lowest scoring seasons so far in 15 years or so. It's been pretty.
Before we continue, Johnny, I want to say we have a new member on the show.
Ooh.
Mike, how's it going, man?
Yeah, it's going all right. Figured I'd pop in since I'm never on these things.
Well, we are talking about how the offense in the NFL this year has been extremely sloppy.
That is outside my wheelhouse. I'm just here to spectate.
But yeah, Johnny, continue about how you feel, or anybody else, how you feel about how sloppy the offenses have looked.
I mean, I think the only.
Vikings.
Oh, sorry, no, you can, John.
In general, because Johnny's on something. I was going to bring this up about how the NFL scoring has been very low compared. The last 2 years are very low compared to how it's been going up recently.
The only thing I want to add to that is I think part of it is there's a big change of the guards right now in terms of quarterbacks, right? Tom Brady finally left. Ben Roethlisberger has left. There's no more Phillip Rivers. There's no more Matt Ryan. So, Aaron Rodgers is basically the last holdout from that era. You know what I mean? So, a lot of those perennial guys that were throwing up, 35, 40,000 yards, or 3,500, 4,000 yards, excuse me. They're gone. And so it's a lot of changeover and a lot of quarterbacks. There's tons of young quarterbacks right now. And so that's going to cause a lot of inconsistency until we start, because when you look at the top, probably, 4 quarterbacks, look how young they are. You got Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, and then maybe a toss-up between either Herbert or Josh Allen. And the oldest of them is I think 27 or something, maybe 28. So, yeah, we got a lot going on right now.
No, yeah, that's just something that I have ESPN on while I'm working every day. And that's the discussion we're talking about today is how offense has just been extremely weak. But no, I can't be able to say it, but I agree with Johnny. So, Chris, you got anything to add to this, or?
No, the NFL you will never see a quarterback competition like there was when I was a little kid. I don't even remember it. Jordan would remember it. Jericho would probably remember it more than me because they'd be 13 instead of me being, 7 or 5. But man, there was way better quarterback play in the early 90s to late 90s. Like there wasn't such a shelf gap. It wasn't like one quarterback's up here, one's like three are here, and then the rest are just like eaten out of the trash can. Like it was there was like 3-4 elite quarterbacks, your elite guys, and then the rest of them were basically running grabbing the cape. Like they were almost there. They were like 87s, and the rest of the dudes were in the 90s. Like it was good, man. Even Vinny Testaverde back in the day was like throwing up like better balls than half the stuff we
Dude.
see today. Like just being a baller. Like
You had Cunningham at an old age destroying it in '98 for the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you had a guy Gary Anderson, not my neighbor, but you know, ruined it for everybody.
So,
I think another factor that comes into play in this is, you know, you go back probably even just 12 years ago and any time prior to that. So you talk about like kind of around 2012-ish, 2014, anything prior to that, offensive linemen and defensive linemen were probably pretty comparable in overall athleticism within the NFL. But now you look at it, defensive linemen, defensive ends especially, are just twice the athlete
Yeah,
coming
they're
out of
taller
college.
middle
Coming
linebackers.
out of college. I mean, you've got defensive ends that are running like 4.5s, 4.4s for God's sakes.
Yeah, they're
You
they're
know,
my height, but they're like 255 complete muscle. They're running like
and
4.5
Aaron
40s.
Donald.
Mhm. And part of the other problem is when you look at the offensive linemen coming out of college, so many offensive schemes in college run a rhythm-based timing system where it's just, oh, that signal means I count to 3, I look left, I throw the ball. And
Yeah.
there's not a lot of reading going on and adjustments. So they don't get the experience of learning how to like listen to audibles, you know, pick up different things that are happening. And so they're coming into the NFL, I feel like, a lot less um prepared than they used to be, because back in, you know, again, kind of prior to that 2014 era, you had a lot more pro systems going on. Now it's a lot of air raid, just these timing systems. And, you know, I don't know if I think it's not necessarily great for the development of offensive linemen in college.
I just think they're asking for a lot out of offensive linemen.
I mean,
So
there's that too. I mean, I agree to
offensive
that.
linemen ever since the Michael Vick era, because Fran Tarkenton, yeah, he ran. Warren Moon ran. There were some running quarterbacks, but not like anybody had ever seen.
When Vic came
Basically,
Yeah, Vic changed it.
somebody that was basically the fastest guy on any team that was also could throw the ball if he wanted to, but would just beat you. So you're going from having these big monster men. Like ideally, I'm a center size as we speak for like an NFL team, and I'm pretty tall, right?
Well,
So
Chris, did you play football too in the high school?
I played football, but not like these people, like and not competitive like this. So I mean, you want people to stay and block, right? But you want people to also be able to pull and move.
Yeah.
Those are two really hard skills to probably have. I don't know if you guys saw a viral video from last week of Jason Kelsey warming up. He's doing like a fast crab walk and stuff, and then
Yeah.
a trainer's like pulling on his knee with an extender band or a stretch band and all that.
You have to be
It's
strong and
hilarious.
agile at the same time.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And that dude, and it looked like he was going fast, but he's not fast, man, when it comes to professional athletes.
I mean, the funny thing about him is like if he didn't have to play a center in the NFL, that dude would look like Chris fucking Hemsworth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just that he's got to pack on like an extra 120 pounds. You know, like that's the. I mean, and the thing is like, but he's the best. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And not that, you know, other centers aren't necessarily as good as him, but you know, just the gap right now between. I mean, even Kelsey said it in a recent episode of his podcast where he was talking about how he's super thankful he doesn't have to play tackle. He had no ability to stop some of these guys. You know,
Yeah, he wouldn't even be tall enough to make the NFL as a tackle. They'd be like, if he made the NFL, they'd be like, all right, son, we're moving you to guard or center.
And so it's just crazy. I mean, I don't know. I think ultimately what'll end up happening is, you know, a lot of stuff is cyclical. Eventually, I think what'll happen is defenses will get faster, and then
Jericho's back.
but they'll get smaller to compensate. And I think ultimately what'll end up happening is then offenses will go the other way, go back to these guys have noodles for linebackers, so we'll just run the ball 300 times up the middle, and they won't be able to do a damn thing, because we're sort of seeing that with these QB sneaks to a degree. I mean, there's so many teams right now that are terrible at stopping the inside run. I mean, it's embarrassing.
Anyone that faces
So I
Philly,
think eventually we might start to see a reverse of this trend, where we might start seeing, okay, we can't stop the inside run now, so teams will start to focus on that, and then defenses will have to catch up again the other way.
What do you
Maybe.
think,
I
Jordan?
think that's gonna happen.
yeah, everyone else, what do you think? What's your opinions on offensive line in fantasy football?
You know, I don't really have a strong opinion. I just want to see more points on the board, ideally from my team, but overall, just
From
more
NFL
action.
How's it going?
more
Magic
scoring
tonight?
is
Yeah,
stuff
James will be
that-
here probably later. He gets it closer to 7, but you're welcome to hang out, man. No, very cool.
Coming live from Hot
But
Comics.
yeah, like
Sorry.
like Jericho said, more scoring would definitely be magic.
Did somebody just mute me?
Yeah,
I
it was
can
me.
meet you, but you add some entertainment to this.
All right. Sorry. I apologize for interrupting whoever was speaking.
Jordan was in deep thought, and all of a sudden Jericho just busts in.
Magic the Gathering.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't
know-
have a lot of thoughts on the matter. I'm
Yeah,
just
Jordan
looking
went
for
into his mode where he's like, I just want to see points. I don't really care. More
Just
points.
want to point out that I'm wearing a Zubaz sweater, Seahawks sweater with my Zubaz.
Zubuzz. Stop emphasizing the A.
There's a Z. It's the Z.
Zubaz. Nobody
It's
ever
Zubaz.
called it Zubaz.
Zubaz.
How
Nobody-
do you pronounce it?
Look,
Nobody ever
there's the
called
name
him
tape.
those.
It's Captain Johnny. Let's go. Okay.
It
I
doesn't
call
rhyme
it.
with Seabass.
I want to also give a shout out to the we have a new staff member of the Minnesota Comic Exchange in here tonight, John Palm. He's been in here before, but not as a staff member.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah,
That's exciting.
Welcome,
Yeah, it
John.
Also,
last week I was in Arizona, and the time change between I messed up, and I was
hey,
like,
we didn't
"Oh,
ask
I'm
for
not
your
gonna
life
make it."
story, fella.
A time change?
I'm just
No,
kidding.
last week.
Yeah, last week.
Last week, John couldn't come on because he was in a different time zone, and when he went to hop on, we were all gone.
Yeah, you were all gone. I'm like, what's
So,
up?
And then in honor of our fantasy basketball draft that happened, I'm wearing this inaugural year Timberwolves hat that's older than Kyle and Captain Johnny Boy.
That's wild.
Not older than me.
yeah,
Or
because you
John
said
Paul.
this,
We were very tiny.
yeah, because you said this is from '89. The hat.
Yeah.
And
Lou Richardson, man.
what was that, man?
Lou Richardson. I remember that.
I remember
I was 9
Pooh
years
being
old.
drafted.
Oh.
Yes.
Yep.
And you got Johnny and I over here like, who? Like the bear?
Pooh. You should remember Pooh Richardson.
Doug West.
No, I know them because I watched a lot of it. Like I love watching the history of basketball. So
I was a
Mitchell.
huge NBA fan as a fetus, so I know all these people.
Makes
I knew
good
it.
sense.
that got weird.
Let's go run through these lineups, Kyle. Let's see
Yeah,
these
I was
paper
gonna go through the weeks, the games. that
Oh,
we
do
have.
it up.
So the first game, since we got Joker here before he probably hops off, right?
It's all good. I apologize. I'm trying my best. I'm here
That's all
alone,
good,
so
man.
I can do it today. Thanks.
My
Jericho,
team
hey.
tried to lose.
I have an important question for Jericho before he goes.
What's up?
Can you grab me the new Better Blood covers, all the Liefeld covers, when you get a chance?
Hold
right.
on a second.
Now he just been. Let me go grab it.
I'll go grab it. Hold on one
Awesome.
second. Better
Thank you,
blood.
sir.
I got a Layfield cover 1. I have a Layfield. Oh no, hold on.
This is a
All I got
highly-
is cover A's.
Yeah,
Let
gross,
me see if I
dude.
got.
Throw those Layfields in the fire.
All right, I got you a cover 1, dude. It'll be 5.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
No worries.
You
Got it
should-
right
you-
here.
You were supposed to say, "Well, I'm only in for $4.35."
Hey, and I think we should ask the question for anybody watching this: do you like Rob Liefeld? Like,
Oh, that's Put it in the comments. We'd love to see
Can
what
we
you got
see
to
the
think.
comments right now?
what was that?
No, are there comments?
No.
Is there any comments coming through? Can we see them?
No, this is a multifaceted comment right here to both of those answer questions.
I'm gonna ask them both right now.
Ask away.
Look at that Jericho one.
Yeah, Jericho, my team
Sorry.
tried to lose. So most people have their flex. Most people's flex are able to get 6 points, which Devontae and Debo were able to muster together. That was great, right? James Cook did better than a lot of the other weeks he's done, but
Yeah.
I know a guy named Bogey, and he might be able to get 7.1 with the speed running downhill. He could definitely get a touchdown at he's a big man. So that's just inexcusable. It's just bad. It's just bad. I was gonna break my phone, and then I was like, "That's expensive. Don't do it." Yeah, Jericho, good game. In your game, you could have had a better game too.
I know. No, actually, I was looking at my options, and besides sitting Purdy and putting in Burrow, I think that was the only way I could have snuck in a couple extra points. But no,
Yeah.
I rolled with who I got.
Cleveland's defense looked insane against San Fran. So having Brock Purdy have that bad of a game, I think it's just Cleveland's team.
Hey, scroll down though a little bit.
You want to look at the bench?
Yeah. Let's look at this bench.
Did you keep
Your roster's changed a lot now, Chris.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it's not going to show.
Was there a
Yeah, I was
question?
gonna say when we get to after we get through these games and we get to look at here we can just look at your roster right now.
I'm not sure if I'm going to have many changes to next week's starting lineup.
Chris had quite a bit of a change. So
Yeah, I got rid of Debo. That's all right. Lockett's going to be my wide receiver too, but I have, Godwin there because there's the chance Lockett may not play. Flex position's valuable. I got all the good backup running backs. Come throw some trades at me. Most of your guys' teams are horrible at running back. I looked at it yesterday. Don't even try to lie. Awful. So yeah, throw some trades at me. I'm gonna reject 90% of them.
I was just gonna say, like, you pulled
I'm
back
only-
the trade to me.
I'm only one game out of like a 5-team tie in my division, and I saw their rosters, so I'm gonna bet on me, even though I'm probably gonna keep losing. But Pitts, I don't know how Pitts was on the waiver wire.
I had dropped him.
Ooh, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, having any tight end right now. is
touchdown
difficult.
this year. That was impressive.
Yeah. I don't know.
That
here's the
Atlanta
thing with Pitt.
team
I
does
believe
make
I
it.
had Pitts for a majority of the season.
Mhm.
I think, and he was splitting catches or receptions with
Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu.
Yep.
And I don't know. There's no ingenious insight to that. I just felt Jonnu was getting a better option. I think Pitts has a potential tag that he just hasn't lived up to in the past 3 years. So,
Right.
They just don't throw him the ball.
Well, and I can't tell you why not, but I know I got to get points. And so if
No, I get it.
if
No, I get
Jonnu
it.
burns me, he can sit on the pine and you guys can be, someone else can pick him up. So.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at your team right now. Looking at your bench, and I think
That's
we're
nothing
all
great.
I think we're all in this position, but Chris and maybe Jordan, where our benches just kind of seem a little lackluster.
Mhm.
That bench is
I
all
really
right.
like
though.
my bench outside of running backs. That's just me though.
Well, and that's what Chris was getting
Well, he's
at.
my
and-
running back ain't too bad. I got Williams.
Well, and to be quite honest, like I've been looking at my team, and besides Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, like they're a solid receiving core. Outside of those two, I'm not really trusting my other receivers, and so I've been running the three running back. I've been running three running backs, right? Josh Jacobs, Mostert, and Barkley. Even though Barkley's middle of the road, motherfucker puts up 8 points. I'll take the 8 points.
All right, so we're gonna move on to
How's it
John
going?
and Dustin, who actually I ran into Dustin yesterday at Issues Needed. John, how do you keep winning?
This is why tight ends and defenses and kickers.
Are we asking John Palmer how he keeps winning?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
want to know
the-
this question too.
answer
I'll
is-
catch my answer.
I want to volunteer an answer real quick. I'm just gonna go with luck. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
what is the average score? 110,
I would-
120 points?
Well,
Maybe
Yeah,
higher?
look at his average 4. And then Johnny, it's like you remember you were like, dude, hey, I sent you an offer, and I was like politely, I don't want any of your dudes.
I know. And the one guy you
5-1.
did want, I'm like, I can't give him up, and thank God I did because he helped me win last weekend.
No, and I
was
totally
going
get it.
into This game, like about, I want to say, well, Sunday night, I was down 50 points, and I had 3 guys left. That was Diggs, that was Lamb, and that was
How's it going, bud?
kicker, Aubrey. And they got me the points I needed. They got me the 50 points.
They got you what exactly 50 points.
Yeah, I
50
mean,
points
I beat them by what? If you scroll up, like maybe 2
1 point.
points,
Like 1.8.
1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. Where those tight ends and defenses, you gotta those matter.
I just want to know how do you sit down with that horseshoe stuck up your rear?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're gonna
dude, you haven't seen me go to the casinos.
Not you.
That's not legit.
I'm on a fantasy football podcast, and this guy keeps on winning. He drafted his team freaking messed up on cough syrup, and the guy won't lose.
in last place too. In the last pick.
I know that's the last pick too.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dan.
But how do you say? Since we're on the topic of benches, how do you feel about your bench going forward?
I'm just hoping that the luck continues.
You mean you hope that the love continues, Jordan Love?
Yeah,
Gonna run
yeah. Well,
out.
he has a good matchup. He's playing Denver this weekend, so I'm hoping he bounces back.
So wait,
I put him in. I couldn't take Russell. I tried to get Johnny to take him, and he won't take him.
So wait, what happened? What happened to Russell Wilson? I need to know.
He's
Well,
the king of the scrubs.
King of
Again,
scrubs.
not king of scrubs. He's king of the land of the scrubs.
I thought he was going to bounce back under Peyton's new offense.
dude, I thought
and-
Denver was gonna bounce back. I'm
So
telling
did
you.
I.
The problem is you don't got nobody good. Like there's a reason why you trade Jared Judy. The guy's scrub.
I will accept the king of scrubs answer, by the way.
Mhm. In fact, going forward, that's the only way that we refer to Russell Wilson now.
Yeah. It's gotta be.
Dustin, the first couple of weeks, I thought Dustin was going to kill it with Tua and Bijan, and I think he just dropped Zach Charbonnet too. So
Who?
running back in Seattle.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
He's nobody.
Yeah, Charbonnet.
He didn't help
Yeah.
anyone's team, including Dustin.
Gibbs
Like-
has been hurt, but if he comes back, Montgomery's out. So I mean, there's potentially he's got a running back there. No, but John, I really hope that your luck ends this week.
In real life, I wish the Vikings would actually start Cam Akers over Madison. I'd like to see what their
I'm
offense-
surprised that they haven't, to be quite honest. I was anticipating that he was
they
at
have
least
nothing to
going
lose.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're moving
At
on.
minimum, he's going to do exactly as well as Madison does. At minimum.
Well, and
he
he can catch the ball. So
Yeah, he's a better catching back. That's why I'm surprised that they haven't used him more.
So we're moving on to Johnny against Joe here.
Let's
And
do it.
This
John,
one, guys.
you won by 15. Kirk Cousins had a terrible game. In fact, everyone on Joe's team but Jacoby Myers had a terrible game.
I mean, everybody on my team was pretty terrible. I mean, look at this. I got Puka there. He had like not even 10. Porta didn't even have 10. Man, they were bad.
You had a John Palm week. You
Baker
just got lucky.
Mayfield didn't even break 10.
So, yeah, I mean, your bench damn near outscored your starters.
Yeah. No,
So-
I got a decent bench because I got a lot, but I've gotten rid of a few of these guys right now. My problem is I keep picking Pittman. I keep picking the wrong weeks that he's going to do good. You know,
So-
when I start him, he does bad, and when I bench him, he's fucking amazing.
Then you should
go
just start
back,
2 tight
you'll
ends.
do the
You should
same
just
thing.
waste your flex spot on a tight end and guarantee losing half points on
Yeah,
one
but
spot.
here's the thing. Last week I did most of my tight ends, and both my tight ends outscored like almost all they did better than like my wide receivers did.
So play them both.
I got a
did.
question
And
for
still
you then.
didn't work. That's what I'm saying.
Going forward, are you going to start Minshew over Mayfield?
No, I've got Herbert now. I'm going to
Herbert
be
now?
having Herbert. I made a couple of trades.
Traded.
So I don't know if you have the ability to pull up my current roster, but I made a trade. I've got Justin Herbert coming my way. I traded Jerome Ford for him. I don't know if the trade has gone through. I think it goes through tonight.
Goes through tonight.
Maybe. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if it's official yet.
Unless
But,
we all go veto it. No, I'm kidding.
So I'll be putting in him instead of Baker. And then I made the trade with Chris that we talked about earlier where I picked up Debo. I'm actually extremely excited about that pickup.
I like
I
that
think
trade for you,
Debo-
Johnny.
Yeah.
I think Debo is going to have a really big bounce back for the second half of the year. Like the longer the longer that Christian McCaffrey is gone, that's just more points for Debo.
If he can stay healthy, he hasn't shown that he can like shake off his current injury. It's lingering, it's still bothering him, and it's affecting him.
He's going to be fine. He'll do good. He'll bounce out. I have faith. I'm not starting him this week, but I'll probably be starting him the rest of the season. And then, like I said, I picked up and I have a new.
Why not this week? Why would you
quarterback.
make a trade for a guy to not start?
Because he might not be starting. But then again, the wide receiver that I traded Chris, Tyler Lockett,
May
also might not be
be
starting
starting.
this week either. So it's not like I don't think he's starting Tyler either. So it was a pretty fair trade. He also got Hubbard from me. Just Hubbard was supposed to be so good this year, and he's just like stunk it up.
Well,
kinda
he's
like
a backup
Madison
running back.
Well, Carolina.
Yeah,
hasn't
but he was-
been that good.
But they were expecting to do like a kind of running back by committee, and like he was supposed to get a lot of workload in and be effective, and that's just completely crap the bed. This North Carolina team is, I mean, they're one of the worst teams in the league. Have they? I don't even think they've won yet.
Carolina has. Have they won? I think they won a game.
Did they? I
Yeah.
thought they're winless still.
So I know that I think they've either haven't won or won at least one game. When they
Okay.
faced the Vikings, they were both winless at that time.
But yeah, it was pretty bad. They were pretty bad.
All right, so the next game is going to be Zappo against Austin, and unlike John Palm, Austin's not lucky. I mean, the dude's one.
No, he's not. No, he's not. I feel bad for Austin.
He's got Tyreek Hill.
He's
That-
got to stop starting Justin.
He's got
Fields.
Tyreek Hill now until
Yeah.
he trades him to Jericho eventually.
I don't know if Austin's even like looking at his roster at this point.
Oh,
I'm
he is.
not-
He's looking.
He's looking. He's
Austin is
commented on it.
Okay, because he's got to stop running Justin Fields. I mean, he has to.
But his
Austin-
only other option is Matt Stafford. So
Yeah.
who
I'll
you go
trade
with?
Baker Mayfield. Go pick up Gardner Minshew right now. That's a better option than Justin
No,
Fields.
what he
You're
should
gonna
do is
guarantee
take
yourself
Joe
60.
Burrow off of me. He should take
Yeah, but
Joe
you want,
Burrow
like,
off of me.
Or
You want,
I need
You
a
want
running
his
back.
entire starting lineup for Justin Fields.
I don't want his entire starting lineup. I just want the one guy that gives him points.
Exactly. That's not a fair trade.
Well, I'll give him four
Not
guys who
using
ride the
Joe Burrow,
pine on me
yeah.
that get more points. He can have four guys on my bench that all score points. Here, pick.
So I'm looking at Zapple's team right now, and
He's all right.
he's all right. Yeah, I think Zapple can ride this out, get into the playoffs with his team right now.
Are my
It's been-
eyes deceiving me about Adam Thielen's production last week?
Adam Thielen's
Last
been one
2
of the
weeks,
top
he's-
receivers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have dropped him.
like he's been insane. Like I'm gonna click on him right now and see the numbers he's posted. He has 132 points right now.
Yeah.
Well, he's the
But
only
click
person
on
on the team.
Click on completes or click on the breakdown though.
Are we sure ESPN hasn't been hacked?
Scroll down further. You can see his
Yeah,
week-to-week stats, I think.
There we go.
There you
Yeah.
go.
20, 33, 15, 29, and 30.
And Chris
Maybe
thought he
I
was going to
didn't
have a
have
low
Thielen.
year this year.
So, but he's not getting that this week though, because he's on bye. So
Yeah.
overall,
No,
though, I
he's
mean,
had a great year. I'm so happy for him.
I think Jordan Addison's he's doing the all right job right now, being in place of Justin Jefferson. I wish he'd seen the ball more, honestly, though. Addison. Austin, if you're going to talk about how his team looks, Manny is in the house. No tastic news.
Nice.
About an hour and a half, I'll be a special judge on his pitch battle show. So look forward to that. I'll be posting that in the exchange, most likely.
Where do we
Very
think
nice.
that Derrick Henry is going to get traded to? Tennessee Titans have announced that they're actively trying to move on from Derrick Henry because that's going to massively affect Zappo's team. If he
Minnesota
goes to
Vikings going to
Tennessee.
trade Kirk Cousins for Derrick Henry.
That's not a bad trade. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're not a fan of Kirk Cousins, anyway.
Dang it, Kirk.
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't make that trade, but some people out there, they might.
all right, so now we're moving on to Jason and Jordan.
Well, at 142, that might be a season high on our team. I don't know.
Yeah, because this is the first time that Jason's kind of had a good game. It feels like he's 3-3. He's not like Austin, but he's also not like John Paul.
Everybody except for John is like 3-3, and then he's sitting up there at 5.
Geez, thanks.
Well, to your point earlier,
You're
Johnny,
above average.
kicker defense matters. I
Yeah,
would kind of like to get closer to 20 points net out of the both of them. That would have been the difference.
Yes.
I got 6.
And you got no points from your kicker at all.
That's what I'm saying. Net 6 points from those two positions when my target's 20. That's a problem.
I
Better
take it going.
kickers on the board right now, though. If you're interested,
You got what?
there's better kickers right now on the. If you're willing to drop a
free agent.
know-nothing player on your team for next week, there's some better kickers available in our free agency right now.
Oh, I also
Like-
kind of feel like
Like better than 0 points.
I mean,
Like they average like 12. There's like 3 of them, but they're all on bye this week because people drop them. But if you've got a player on this roster, like I don't know that,
Jaden
let's
Reed.
say like Elijah Mitchell, who's probably who's averaging not that much, or Gainwell, right? Drop Gainwell, pick up the better kicker now, and then next week you can probably pick up Gainwell back up anyway.
Well, Jordan, you've kind of had a QB conundrum though. Trevor Lawrence is hurt. He's playing.
Oh, yeah.
Deshaun Watson's injured. He's not playing, and then he lost Richardson for the year.
Mm-hmm.
So even being you were in the game,
Damn.
you were still in this game despite your QB getting hurt. So
Yeah, a lot of my guys did all right, but just couldn't overcome
you would just
higher
outside of this,
scores. They needed to score more points. That's kind of what it came down to.
outside of Chris Zapple, you were beating everybody else this week.
Yeah.
So, well, in talking about that, we coming down to Nora and myself versus Maurice, and
God, you could put a beat down on this
it was
one.
the biggest ass kicking of the week. I'll take it. I'm hoping to do the same thing as John Palm this week. But,
Yeah, we're all rooting for you.
so
Geez, thanks.
it's the one time people are rooting for me to actually win. So when we hopped on, Chris wanted to talk about the benches because of the trade, and he offered me a trade, and I pulled it back because he said that my team's bench sucks. Basically.
So the purpose was just to insult you?
A little bit.
But no, I agree with him because I have, we've been talking about Russell Wilson as a king of scrubs, and I feel like my bench is just scrubs right now. So,
Is there a trade deadline for our league?
Kamish?
Let me take a look, and I will get back to you in just a moment.
Because here's
I
the
think
thing.
drafting when you picked up Ezekiel Elliott, I think that was a bit of a stretch move. I felt like
Even if I am gonna just keep on losing, my team just doesn't perform on that Sunday, my players, I can just go down with all the running backs and then just be like, hey, who do I want to give these running backs to?
So trade deadline is November 29th.
So we have a month.
Mhm.
And that's pretty deep. That's pretty deep into the season too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that it is.
All right, so we're gonna go to the weekly matchups.
This is Bill.
This game got tighter, John. Actually, our
Did it?
game, yeah, I thought it was gonna be more than 9 points.
Huh.
So
Collusion.
I think you should start Russell Wilson though.
No. No.
Dude, he's gonna have a good game.
Well, yeah, watch him go off for 30 points, and Jordan Love gets 11.
We're even playing Green Bay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it at Green Bay or is it at Denver?
It's at Denver.
Yeah.
And then you
start-
picked up
I would
Jordan
start
Love,
with-
picked up Johnny's castaway
Mhm.
from one John to another.
The John pass around.
John squared. Yeah, I don't like that. I'll trade you Geno Smith.
Nope.
Definitely better than that guy.
All right, let's stay
Move on.
focused here. Looks
So
like Madison did better than nothing last week.
I like Madison, but I don't like him this week against San Fran.
No, neither do I.
So I don't like
For
Zach
me,
Moss
I
against
might
Cleveland.
I might pull him out. I'm gonna look at that one a little bit more.
Who do you have on your bench?
Yeah, who are you going to
Javonte.
replace him with?
You got
Either Javante Williams or
Oh,
McLaughlin.
yeah, maybe.
I don't
you have
know.
two
You have a
running back
coin flip at Denver running backs.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know if you do that, but
That you keep Madison in. That I don't know. Nope.
yeah, go Google that one and let Fantasy Pros give you the 100 versus 0 on that one.
All right, so John, I think you're probably gonna end up still getting lucky somehow pulling this game off by 2 points.
We'll see.
Oh.
We'll see.
Pacheco's gonna have his best game ever.
I
Mahomes,
hope so.
Justice Hill's going to go off for you this weekend, bud.
yeah. I'm just gonna let that pass by. Let's go on to Jordan's team. Jordan, you are.
I'm feeling good. What
Yeah,
can I
you
say?
said mine
Feeling
exactly
good about
here.
this week. I'm gonna leave Christian McCaffrey on the bench. Just let him get a little rest. Probably he's not gonna play.
If he does play though, you still not gonna start him.
I probably will start him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. It's
But
against
yeah,
Minnesota. I mean,
all that said, I mean, for Zappo, Derrick Henry's on a bye. Adam Thielen, apparently the best wide receiver in the NFL, is on a bye. So I'm catching a little bit of luck here, and little preparation, little planning, little luck.
and Zappo,
Take
if you're
it.
watching, pick up a defense, get some points at least. So,
Yeah, pick up a D, dude.
Johnny, you're facing Austin, who can't catch a break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Sorry,
that
Austin.
it still is that way at the end of the week.
You have such a one-sided game here. I mean,
I
granted,
think I think it's Austin's time. I don't know why I feel like that, but I feel like he's due.
He is.
I mean, I'm going to be putting in the only difference is that I'll have Justin Herbert in. So that'll be the only other difference. So, but
Yeah, and looks
Yeah.
like Austin, if you're watching, looks like you need to pick up a tight end because your tight end's on bye. But
no, he can just leave it there.
Did you say his tight end one died?
no, that too. No, his
Oh.
tight end's on bye.
Oh,
No, but his
I was
tight end
like,
won.
Jesus,
Yeah.
dude. That's nonchalant, like your tight end died, bud.
You pick up a new one. Joe's supposed to annihilate Maurice this week.
Joe's
And
on the
these guys-
upswing.
Everybody you talk to, like saying things like that with horrible teams, has beaten me.
Yeah. Well,
Has beaten my team.
these projections are never right. They're always like 10, 15, 20 points off. So
What team did Jerry Jeudy get traded to though? Because this hasn't updated because it still shows him playing for Denver. He got traded.
Who did he
Remember
go
when the
to?
Vikings wanted him really bad?
Then he just
Jerry
get traded. Then he
Jeudy.
goes, I thought he just got his ass sent out of town.
no, it doesn't have anything about Judy being. He hasn't been traded yet.
Did I have a aneurysm or something?
I mean, that's always an option, dude. We talk about it.
Yeah. I think this comes down to running backs right now.
Traded him to the
Chris, you have basically a tie game against Dustin here.
Yeah, but I mean, is it though? Do we really think the Chiefs are really gonna lay an egg like that?
What was that?
Do we really think the Chiefs defense is gonna lay an egg like that?
Against the Chargers,
I don't think they're gonna do that bad.
I think 5-6 points seems about right. I mean, you got Herbert playing. You got maybe they won't pull up. Maybe they can do better than that because the defense has played really good.
Yeah, but the Chargers, they got Eckler back and they are getting healthier on offense. I think another wide receiver comes back this next week. It could be this could be one of the highest scoring games, honestly, this week.
Talking about the game between Dustin and Chris, or the Chargers Chiefs?
Chargers Chiefs.
Gotcha.
I mean, this could be like just throwing the ball 40 yards every pass and 48-43 kind of game.
We need that. Well, okay, but you say that, and like there's been games that we've looked at that we thought are gonna be high scoring games, and they've been like 16-10 type games though. Like,
I mean, this is one of those games that has some real potential to it because again, Justin Herbert, he's got a cannon and he's got another receiver coming off is going to get healthier, and then he's got Eckler back, and they're starting to get they're starting to look good again, and some stuff in Kansas City is starting to pick up because Kelsey had another good game, and they're starting to get back into things. So.
Sorry, Johnny.
No, I'm just saying. I just think this could be easily one of those kinds of games where it's they throw for like 450 yards and just a bunch of studs.
But speaking about Eckler, has any running back come back outside of Kamara because he wasn't injured? He was suspended and performed
this season.
No. Yeah, this year. No.
Look at Jonathan Taylor. He came back. He's put up 11 points, something like that, in 2 games.
Yeah, this is pretty much his preseason right now, so I'm gonna give him a little bit of grace.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with Jericho's Josh Jacobs. He didn't play the whole preseason, and like his first 4 games was garbage, and then now he's back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just pulled up the matchup between him and Jason, and it's a huge spread between the two teams right now. 27 points.
Well, I'm choosing to believe that James Cook is going to have that where he just needed to shake some rust off.
Yeah.
Performing.
Justice Hill. So.
Yeah.
Buffalo team, though, it's kind of weird. It's like, for whatever reason, Josh Allen's just like playing down the whole year.
Okay, I don't want to sound mean here, but if Jason's team with these players win this week, because basically Travis Kelce, Dave Flowers were doing okay, Chris Olave, but you look at that team and you're like, there's no stud on that team right now besides Kelce.
So what you're saying is, if Jason wins next week, you'll play with an empty quarterback slot.
No.
I mean,
Oh.
Olave is a stud. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a low draft pick. He's been performing. But I mean, all that said, Jason's been working the waiver wire. I'll give him some credit.
The only thing I would say is the Raiders defense could put up like 20 points this week. They're going against Chicago. They've got one of the best defensive lines. I mean, they could get like 10 sacks this next game. I mean, Justin Herbert, they don't have Justin Herbert because he's got his thumb broken or whatever. So, I mean, the Raiders have, his Raiders have the opportunity, honestly, to put up, a pretty decent, I would expect probably at least 10 or 11 points from them. I think the points that they're projected to do is way too low for that. I think they're probably going to put up about double digits at least.
I say that, but I'm looking at his bench, and the players he has on bye have actually kind of produced. So, like, Jericho may get the win here, but Jason could probably be fine, coming up.
So, I give him an A for effort and an A+ for nothing mustache.
I'm gonna go with my man Jason there on that one.
Just want to get that discount from the comic shop, don't you?
We're just gonna put like 50 points.
So Johnny, tell us why.
Because they're only gonna allow like 5 yards and look, that team. Look how good that team is with Justin Fields. What are they gonna do without him? That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Think about it. What are they gonna do? They got no plan. They don't have a plan now. They don't got no plan now, and they're gonna do what without Justin Fields? They're gonna probably put up. I bet you right now, they will not have more than 150 total yards on offense. The Bears I don't have any faith in that. They're gonna punt the ball like 9 times this weekend. They're gonna turn over the ball like 5 times. It's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be one of the worst offensive performances we'll ever see.
So what are you thinking?
Yeah, what are you thinking?
Final score
for that bet.
Oh, for that bet.
Yeah, I'll take that action.
I don't gamble.
Dude, you're playing fantasy football. Isn't that kind of gambling?
Yeah. It's as rich as much as I need.
It is a game of strategy and skill.
Fantasy football.
Yeah, it's a stretch. I know.
Fantasy pros, right?
Well, fantasy football in general, a lot of luck's involved.
Yeah, hey, going into the draft, I was listening to podcasts all the time, but I think I've stopped listening to podcasts. This is the only podcast I listen to. So, all right, so we're coming up on an hour. Anything that you guys have in your mind that you want to talk about? I know in the little title I put what superhero would be the best football player, right? Just as a way to get people talking. And I was thinking, like, if everyone was on the same playing field, same power level, everything like that, who would be the best superhero or villain to be a football player?
I think it'd be the Flash.
But if everyone's on the same power level, still, you think it'd be Barry?
What do you mean by power level? Like he doesn't have super speed now?
Everyone's matched up. Like there's no alpha or omega here. It's like everyone's on the same. Like the NFL, everyone's got like body type, athletic skills. I was thinking like someone like Bruce Wayne would be a good Batman.
Like Captain America, to be honest. He's probably Tom Brady. He's probably gonna go out there and get like 8 rings.
The reason why I want to get people involved in answering this question. So you think Cap would be the best football player?
I think so. He's he's seen the era. He saw the creation and he's seen every football game. You know what I mean? Like he's old as crap. But also, Captain America is the ultimate strategist. He's the perfect team leader. He can throw stuff well, obviously. I mean, he's probably the best quarterback option that you would probably go for. And then so yeah, I mean, he's probably like the Tom Brady. He'd probably be the closest thing to Tom Brady.
I'm gonna go with my guy Hawkeye on this
I
one.
was just thinking when he
Pretty
said
good
he can't miss, I'm like, isn't that Hawkeye saying though? So
I think Logan would be, or not Logan, Cyclops, Scott Summers would be like Aaron Rodgers, basically.
so no one likes him.
Good leader, but nobody likes him. Like he can can lead a team. Sacrifices a
Conspiracy
lot.
theorist. Yeah, I can see that.
Goes on shows with guys
Great
without
numbers,
sleeves.
great numbers. Has had moments of great success, but his team just constantly lets him down.
So Kirk Cousins then.
Basically.
No, Kirk Cousins is like who'd Kirk Cousins be? That's like I don't know who Kirk Cousins is. But,
Slapstick. Chris and John, do you have any one in mind?
Not really.
We can't choose Superman or Shazam.
I mean, wouldn't they both have the same powers if we had them on the field?
Pretty much.
So, okay, but yeah, let's go back to that question. Who would be a Kirk Cousins of this group?
John. One of
Well,
the
not of
Kirk Cousins out of us?
No, I'm talking about superheroes. Like,
it has to be somebody who's actually good, but like absolutely nobody appreciates.
Shazam.
Like, no, I mean like within the world. Like people like Shazam within the world, but like I'm talking like his actual peers don't like him, even though like he's legit.
Going back to the idea of the Flash, I might volunteer specifically one Flash, the Ezra Miller Flash.
Yeah. Or I mean, if you think about it, like Deadpool, people hate Deadpool, but yet he gets the job done. So
I go with that.
yeah.
Deadpool of the NFL.
Like that one Green Lantern that nobody likes.
What one? Guy Gardner or Kyle Rayner?
I forget. I'm not a big Green Lantern. I just know there's that one from Earth that like nobody likes. Like I'm not talking like people and like the readers, but like within the universe.
It's Guy. No one likes Guy.
Yeah, that's probably him. But he's still Green Lantern, you know what I mean? Like he's still putting it up.
I know this is a very random question, but I kind of like this is the type of question that someone heard, they start thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, who would be the best, superhero, or who's the Kirk Cousins of superheroes or villains? So
Kyle, do we have a couple minutes to talk about fantasy basketball?
yeah, we have a couple minutes to talk about fantasy basketball.
Yeah.
In fact, if that's something that we want to add on to this too, do a little 10-minute recap of what happened in the week. We can do that too going forward.
Yeah, that would work. So we had our draft last night. I know most of our things worked, so that was relatively successful. I ended up doing most of the draft from the car, and luckily I had bookend picks, and I had to stop in a few parking lots to make sure I had ample time to get my thoughts together. So not the most ideal draft environment, but I think it went off all right. Especially helps get lucky, get the first pick, and looking forward to beating you guys this year.
Again, you won last year.
Again,
that is true.
I'm just mad that my auto picked James Harden. Like, come on, man.
Why are you
gonna do me dirty like that? Why
he might play.
Why is auto draft gonna do me dirty like that? Picking fun. I looked at my roster and I saw that name and I was like, come on. Auto pick. What are we doing? Like,
well, we'll see if he eats his way out of Philly and if he's gonna be James Sufton before it's all said and done.
James Harden's never coming back, people. He's never gonna be, like, I'm not saying he's bad now. He's still better than
20 pounds later, he's not gonna be great though.
But he's done.
James soft serve.
Never anything anymore.
Yeah, so I mean, how do we all feel about our teams? I mean, I went in blind. I think I just went off name recognition, honestly.
Yeah, me and you both, Kyle.
I'm Paul
Right.
George and I have Damian Lillard, so if they're both healthy, I have got a shot at doing something.
But Chris and Jordan, you guys know basketball very well. So
It's true.
I mean, don't be cocky about winning last year. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I've
think
done it before.
yeah, and last year was the first time I think I did it in like 5-10 years, maybe like that. I just got my last time I played fantasy basketball. So I think John and I had like the same record last year. It was pretty damn close. So
Yeah, I pulled it out. I think just at the end.
That's
then
what she said.
Chris, you finished dead last year, didn't you?
Yeah, but I was dealing with my dad's cancer stuff, and I literally logged in and changed it for like 1.5 weeks, and I was like, "Nope, can't do it."
Because I remember looking, your record was good, but I think you just, yeah, it was like it wasn't terrible. I think you just lost in the playoffs, not playoffs, but like you sunk down at the end of the year. So, but
So what you guys are saying is my team sucked the least. That's why I won last year.
Yeah.
yes. On that note, yes.
Well, I expect a little bit stronger competition this year.
So, but for those who have, I mean, we have 2 leagues for football. We only have 1 league for basketball. Is that something that we want to improve next year? Do 2 leagues or?
Well, let's see how it goes. I mean, we already expanded from 10 teams last year to 12 teams this year, and we'll see what sort of interest there is. And if there's interest, I'm sure we could expand a little bit more. And, you know, if we've already kind of hit a plateau for interest with our current MCE membership, then we'll just keep doing what we're doing and it'll be a good time. So we'll just play it by ear and see what happens.
I mean, the interest for fantasy football, it seems like it's always increasing though in this group. So I think if we get a little more vocal with fantasy basketball, maybe some people might join that too, or have an interest in joining it. But one thing going forward though, I think we should add a little bit basketball in, a little more comics to this discussion, all right?
Yeah, we're kind of light on comics this week, but a lot of
Yeah.
football.
Well, I think looking at our the live eyes, we had more live eyes on this show than we've had in the past. So maybe we're getting some traction here. So
Everyone wants to hear about the latest issue of Batter
And
Blood.
they want to see this. They want to see the Seahawks.
or as Jordan
No, we
said,
don't.
as Jordan said earlier, the new segment things got weird.
Yeah, my comment wasn't pulled up, but I hope everyone enjoyed our new segment.
No, it was so
Things just got weird.
yeah. Well, the funny thing is that your comment too about Rob Liefeld, you said yes, but you commented in the private chat. So there's a public chat and private chat, and you commented in the private.
Yeah, operator error. What can I
But-
say?
Your thingy didn't work, right? So
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try to make it work better next time.
but you guys got anything last to take we head off tonight? Watching
You excited for Wolverine 50th anniversary starting next year? That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I saw some of the early cover A's for some of the different issues. They
Yeah,
released that earlier in the week. Some of those look pretty good.
So I know I have asked this the last 2 weeks. You watching the football game or you watching Loki tonight?
Be watching football.
Well,
I mean, come on, it's Jacksonville Jaguars. They're lighting it up, baby. Lighting it up.
Yeah,
No,
I'm gonna give football a
be-
shot. We'll see how it goes. We'll see.
It's going to be a pretty bad game. It's amazing. Last year, the Thursday night games were all so bad. You remember that? The first, I think it was I think it was until week 5 before they had their first touchdown or something stupid like that.
it was a lot of defensive games or
Oh
just
my gosh, it was terrible. But this year it's been a little bit better, but it's starting to peter down again with these terrible, this matchup. I mean, my God, what could happen? I mean, it could be the greatest game we all seen because absolutely anything can happen because there's so much unknown going on in this game, or it could be just the worst game and it's going to be 6-3.
could be like the Minnesota
Hey,
Vikings. Chicago
Look at
Bears.
last Thursday's game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they've been wild. Like earlier in the season, first couple weeks Thursday night, they made sure they had good games because last year it was just a crap shoot, but now it's starting to teeter down again. I don't know what it is.
Well, Bears look
Well,
strong, strangely, last Thursday.
Yep. If you don't want to watch Loki or football, there is going to be 3 MCE members on Pitch Battle in 45 minutes at 8 o'clock. Dennis Vogan, who is he's going to be doing a battle against Fable, who is a YouTuber, about an eco superhero. They have to create their own ideal eco superhero. And the host of that is Manuel from Nerdtastic News, and I will be on there as a special guest judge.
So as a judge, Kyle, what are you looking for? What are your what in your mind? What makes the best product, best result?
I think
or
it's all
is
about,
that sharing too much information, or maybe you don't want to give it away?
I think I'm gonna need more caffeine. Working all day and then doing this, but no, honestly, I'm just looking forward to seeing what Dennis and Fable can think of, because if you put that in front of me, I have no clue what to come up with. I think Captain Planet and Aquaman, Poison Ivy. That's about it.
So are you're saying the best eco, like green energy?
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah. But
interesting.
Yeah. So everybody that's watching, thank you for tuning in. We're here every Thursday. If you want to come on, earlier in the show we had Manga Mike. This is not just a football discussion. I mean, granted, we did talk about football for over an hour today, but we talked about comics. We're going to talk about basketball. We want to talk to MCE members. So if you're ever interested, hit up any of us here. Hit up me. I'll have the access to the link. Chris too. Actually, I think all of us will have the link eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just hit us up for that.
Yeah.
But
maybe next week we'll have like a intimate conversation on my new book that I've been reading, The Moneyless Society. I'm actually excited to read this. The next
maybe not.
economic
We'll
evolution. Really deep into that. All the NBA majors out there.
But thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Take it easy.
Right.
Yep.